And welcome back to another episode of Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling. This is the podcast where we help kitchen and bath remodeling contractors increase their revenue using smart marketing, cutting-edge technologies, and no-fluff strategies that actually move the needle. Now, in today's episode, it's all about speed, it's about trust, and one thing that's killing your leads, which is friction. So let me ask you this, guys. Have you ever lost a deal simply because a homeowner went with someone who got there first? Or have you wasted hours driving to a site that wasn't even a fit because you didn't know what the kitchen looked like up front? So what if you could instantly connect face-to-face with leads? What if you could document every job with a single click, even turn your happy customers into the best salespeople? All this without downloading an app, right? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to do all of that just after this.
Are you looking for some fresh ideas to jumpstart your kitchen remodeling business? Welcome to the Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling podcast. Your host, Michael Goldstein, founder of Kitchen Remodeling SEO, the digital marketing agency working exclusively with kitchen remodeling contractors. And also, the author of the ultimate internet marketing guide for kitchen remodeling contractors, will provide insights on proven tips and strategies from top experts in this space, so that you can take advantage of industry best practices. Your host, Michael Goldstein. Join Mike as he shares his knowledge each week with an insightful interview or educational segment about how to turn your online marketing efforts into more kitchen remodeling leads and sales opportunities than ever before.
All right, and we're back. So joining me today is James Hatfield. He's the Chief Revenue Officer over at LiveSwitch.com. It's a communications platform that's really changing how home service pros do business. Now, James, you're not just a tech exec, you're a former painting and a power washing business owner yourself. So this is really awesome to have you here. I know that you get the grind. But with all that said, for those of them who don't know who you are, who the heck are you? What is it that you do?
Great question, Mike. I ask myself that every day, but thanks for having me. Yes, I used to live my life on a ladder. I had a painting and power washing business, and I made the jump into tech about 20 years ago, and I've never left. But I help to guide our revenue. I also work directly with our customers. I work directly with our product team to make sure that we have a good fit here, and we are using live video to help you race to the face is what we call it, or speed to lead. So you can get in front of your prospects, people calling you, whether they're coming through the website or the phone, and getting to you as fast as possible where you can see what they see, start getting your eyes on the project fast. Welcome to the age of Amazon, right? And you got to have it overnight.
That's well, instant gratification is the name of the day right now. I mean, with all the AI search and everything going on these days, people they just want, they got the question, they got a problem, they need an answer. And it seems like you guys have one, which is fantastic. So let me let's kind of just break this down a little bit here. So as you know, James, the podcast here is really for the kitchen and the bath crowd. We have a lot of people here who are listening, who are the remodelers, the designers. So for those folks, really, what's the everyday pain point that you're solving for them?
Right. Well, we're going to help follow your entire customer journey from their first reach out to that final handshake and beyond. Right. So now that you carry around a smartphone in your pocket with 4 cameras, it's about time we start using that in our business a bit more. It's like the NFL having the instant replay. Could you imagine if they took that away? There'd be an uproar. But now you can have this in your business. I'm dating myself back in the day with my businesses. I used to have the Nextel walkie-talkies, a CB radio in before that. I could hear my team, talk to my team, and the cell phone came along more. And now we've got these cameras where we can start digging into those cameras, seeing what our team is seeing what our prospects are seeing for any callbacks and follow-up. But this is going to flow throughout your entire customer buying experience. And we'll talk through all that as well.
That's really cool. Now, one thing though that I hear this a lot when I talk to my clients in the marketing space about, hey, you got to get video reviews. You got to get people on video talking about you. And the thing that everyone says to me, hey, videos, it's cool, but homeowners, they're just not going to want to get on camera for that. And I expect in the same kind of situation here, homeowners don't want to hop on a call, or certainly on a video call. So what do you say to people who are they're just kind of stuck in the mindset that listen, no one's gonna go on video for me.
That's right. So here's the thing. We have thousands and thousands of customers all over the world already doing this. We're under the hood of Jobber. We're under the hood of Service Titan. This is not new. It might be new for you, listening, but this is not new as far as who you're competing against. And so in the past, the tools that have been available are clunky, right? It doesn't get used because it's clunky. It's not fun. Like for a customer experience, it's terrible, right? They have to go and maybe take a video, then they have to go to a Dropbox and they've got to scroll through all the pictures of their family. Then of course, customers hate that. I hate
Yes,
that. You hate
it's a
that. We
lot of
all hate
work.
it, right? So what we decided to do is no apps. Forget it. No one wants to download another app. All people have to do with us, if you can tap a text, which everybody can. We've had a guy who hangs TVs and he's like, James, I got a 90-year-old on this the other day. All right. We say it's
That's
so easy.
awesome.
Your mama can do it, right? So you literally tap the text, up pops live video. You said allow the camera, and now it's going to record in real time. Nothing is ever stored on an employee device or a customer device, and it goes right into the cloud. In fact, this is safer than a phone call. We have governments that use our stuff under the hood. I mean, we power the Super Bowl. We powered the NBA. We power a lot of different things. We're putting high power. We're one of only a few companies in the world that do this, but now we've made it to where you tap it, you show, it goes up into the cloud, and that's it. It's never going to touch your roll of videos, photos. In fact, that's pretty rude to take a huge long video, and that's a lot of data, right? So the whole key has been simplicity.
It's funny that you say that. You're talking a little bit about how it's going right into the cloud and all that. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of stuff about how Tesla's coming out with with their new phone and their new tablet, and how that's it's going to compete with Apple, because people they don't want all their stuff going right into Apple and having them know everything. And if you can store it live, if you can keep it for yourself, I think it gives you that sense of security. And you're kind of talking the same language here, where people, they don't want their stuff just floating out anywhere.
That's
So
right.
this,
We take safety overboard. All right, we had to go through this process called SOC 2 certification. I hope no one listening ever has to go through it. It's very difficult because if you want to work with governments, you have to have this level of security. So we don't even care what device you use. If you use a computer, a tablet, a phone, any kind of phone, since there's no apps, it's literally just, we invented this actually because we were working with a chief of police in Washington, D.C. to reinvent our nation's 911 phone call and work with schools to help with school shootings. So this is where it started, right? Is that we can connect a police officer driving in, it's called situational awareness, with anybody globally, and they can see what they're driving into. So this is the type of technology that we're now putting in our home services, whether you're kitchen remodeling or any kind of other home service you give, and having the home service background, we were able to connect those dots, because I know what it is to have, customers that are not tech forward. I know what it is to have a team and staff that people would affectionately call them knuckle draggers, right? Like, well, I know what it is to work with that crew. So we have to make it simple and safe.
So it sounds like that the technology is there. It sounds like you've made it easy for homeowners and for service providers really to communicate with each other and to kind of see what's going on. But let's kind of get into a real example here. So if I'm a kitchen remodeler, I'm going out, I'm running a Facebook ad. I get a lead. Someone says, "Yep, I want to talk." They want to jump on a call. They want to find out kind of what's going on in the kitchen. Walk me through kind of how, in a real world scenario, how does that work? How does this actually help somebody land a job?
That's right. Well, it's going to come in four ways. One is before you even get the lead. Two, when the lead comes in. Three, when you're operationally doing the work. And then four, afterward, when you're wanting customer reviews, follow up, and then reducing callbacks. Let's start when the quote. Okay, the quote or the call comes in, right? You get a call. Hey, I'm thinking about getting my kitchen redone, or I need my cabinets redone. Like we have a customer who redoes cabinets, right? And so what he does all the time is he says, "Can I send you a text and you show me your kitchen?" And this is going to do three things for you immediately. Okay, we bucket these customers into three types of customers, right? One is the Amazon Prime customer. They might have heard about you. They've read everything up on you. They know exactly what they want, and they have the budget. You're going to close this deal in your sleep, right? So there's a percentage that happens, and when you can send a text to them from your computer, they answer it on their phone. They just tap the text, and now it's tuned up for third-party assistance where they can look through their phone and see what they see large. And then on your computer, you see it large. This is the reverse of a FaceTime call. This is not anything like a Zoom or FaceTime call. And now you are connecting with them. Okay. A human connection is huge in a sales process. AI gets you part of the way there. But when I'm at different conferences, I'm like, whose AI robot is their number one salesperson? No hands go up, right? Because when we're closing the cash, they want to look at you as the owner or look at your salesperson, right? And then you're going to build trust. So you're going to be able to hopefully close those quick ones. Or what about those customers that are just using you for free advice and consulting? They have no interest. They're going to go to IKEA and do it themselves. And you're going to be able to do discovery and find out, I am not driving out to that, right? So that's the second bucket. And the final bucket is this person has money, this person has a budget, this person knows what they want, but I do need to go on property. And then you go on property, right? So you're using it as your discovery tool, and then you go on property. We can talk about what you do when you get on property, but that's the quoting. That's how our customers are racing to get to in front of their customers and see that project as fast as possible. And it all gets recorded. So when you go back out, or if a salesperson has to send it over to a technician or an installer, now you can see what was discussed with that. And it's, again, a better customer experience and better communication across the team.
This all sounds fantastic at the lead gen, but one of the things I'm thinking here is this must be a really great platform when you're knee deep into a job, and especially with a kitchen remodeler or a home renovation or something where the homeowner literally they're going to leave for a couple of weeks. There's just too much dust. There's crap everywhere. They don't want to be in the house, but they want to know what's going on. I mean, this seems to me like a great way for them to kind of keep tabs on the project itself too.
That's right. What you're going to do is you create this thing, we call it a project. And all of your videos, all of your photos go into this file that you will share with your customer. Okay. And their customer, to your point, Mike, can watch because it's their home. They want to see it. It's an intimate space. It's not a corporate space. They want to see it. So what you can do is two things. When you get there and you're knee deep in it, like Mike said, you can just print off a QR code. Very simple, tape it to the wall. This is not high-tech stuff, right? It's high-tech, but it's low-tech, meaning it's simple for you, your team, and your installers or subcontractors. So anybody who works on that property can now scan that QR code, take a video, a before or after, right? And then all of that goes right into the project for you to see, your project managers to see, your installers, and your customers to see, and it's in a timeline. And so now they can see the entire progress from your first first video call, all the way through to the end. And then that's when you're going to do your customer testimonials. Maybe some will say, yes, you can even share that. So you can download those videos. You can put them on your Google stores to get higher organic. You can put it on your website so people can really see what you do. And now if there was an issue for insurance, you can share that video with anybody, share those pictures with anyone. A subcontractor comes to do painting. Hey, we're not going to issue payment until you record a video, scan the QR code, please. And again, no apps to download. Anybody on your customer's property can take those videos and upload them. Even a customer, maybe a customer says, you guys left crap everywhere. There's tools everywhere. Scan it, show us, great. And then I can share the team, clean up before you leave, right? This is someone's house. So things like that. It's all full circle.
Yeah, and not to kind of run into it back into the marketing realm here, but I mean, you said something that really kind of made me think is the biggest problem that a remodeler has, a designer, anybody in home service, pressure washer, HVAC, whoever you are, you got to getting those video reviews, getting those testimonials. How cool is it, that you can maybe get, the look on the face of someone the first time they walk into the project, the first time they see the fix that you did for them. I mean, when they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, what's the video worth?
That's right. And when you're doing the final walkthrough is the perfect time to do that, right? Because you got the QR code on the wall. Yeah. You're doing the final walkthrough. They're super happy. That's probably their happiest moment, hopefully, right? Because you've done a good job. Yeah. Like, do you mind if I just take a quick video of you in your new kitchen and telling everyone how much you love it? Right then you're getting that authenticity, that timing is also perfect. But to Mike's point, data will tell you if you didn't get it at that point in time, it's going to take you 7 touch points to get a review. Up to 7. If you're lucky. But people stop after 1.
Yeah.
Some people don't even do it. But there are automations out there, different software that will automatically do this where you don't have to think. Okay. But those reviews are critical, especially in the home service space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only are they critical in the home service space, but just in anything where you're running ads. I mean, if you're running local service ads, you know that the only thing that differentiates you between the next person down the road is how many reviews did you have, because that's all they see. So that's kind of cool. Let me ask you this though, for just going back into, when someone wants to see what's going on in their kitchen, when they want to see, how the projects move along, and they say, yeah, but I got a ring. Like, how is this any different than than that, or one of these just live cameras with just a live feed all the time?
Yep. So it's more purpose built, right? That's just what it comes down to, right? And it's purpose built for, we have an entire platform. We have a live connect, right? Where you're live connecting to someone and it's tuned up for third party. None of those are tuned up for third party assistance at all. Okay. The second piece is recorded video, like scanning the QR code on the wall. What a lot of our remodelers will do is, we have a QR code generator. It'll generate a QR code that you can turn into a sticker and put it on the back of a cabinet. Say, any issues, please do this. Or just if they want future renovation, right? Now they know who did it, or a new family moves in, in the future, they know who did it, and it's all connected there.
So,
That QR code can also go on marketing material if you're doing any print marketing, right? It can go on website. And then we're talking about a video Dropbox. If someone scans that video, it takes video any time of day, by the way, because right, homeowners aren't always home all time of day, and you don't want to take calls at 7 p.m. when you're trying to have dinner with your family. So they can now take that video. You don't even have to be on the other end. It goes right up into the cloud, alerts you. You can watch the video the next morning, call them up and say, yep, I saw that. In fact, that's an easy fix. I don't even have to drive back out. Let me tell you, maybe one of the cabinets is not closing well or not aligning right. The best thing you can do for your business is to prevent callbacks and prevent going back out. Driving in your vehicle is the most expensive thing that you or your team does, right? And especially if it's just a callback, that's a non-money generating interaction. So the more that you can automate things or do things from your office and solve the problem from the office, it's just, your bottom line is going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, no, it's an ROI drive for sure. One of the other things you think about is, people who are, homeowners, they don't like something that went on in the house, and they grab their phone immediately and they take a picture. You know what they do? They walk right up to it and they put it 3 inches away, and you get this blurry blob of who knows what. So how does LiveSwitch really fix that, so that, when you're knee deep in in a gut job really, and the homeowner texts you a blurry photo, how does it kind of, I guess, well, how does it fix the situation, really?
Okay, so it's tuned up very differently than a camera, right? When they either receive a text, scan a QR, what they're getting is, it looks like, they see the back side of the camera, right? There's two buttons. There's a record button for the video, and then there's a camera button right next to it. So you can record video and take high res pictures all in one, all going to the cloud, right? They don't just need to take one picture, but it tells them, please take up to a 10-second video. Like, they take the 10-second video and now they're moving around. And when you get the video, if they didn't take a good picture, we have a feature where you can they could take a picture of that video, right? So the picture's worth 1,000 words, but the video's worth 10,000. So again, you're transitioning from just still pictures alone to still pictures and video all together into your cloud. And then from there, you can even draw on these photos. You can crop these photos. You can do anything you want with them. You can send them anywhere. We have unlimited storage, unlimited time. If you need to go back a year or two later, this is, all the other solutions have been just kind of makeshift, right? Like, Zoom was never built for that. Ring was never built for that. They serve a different purpose, but those were the only tools we had available. But now we've got a purpose-built tool by home service company for home service companies. That's the real difference.
Yeah. And and I know there's a lot of creative ways that people are using this too. It's not just selling jobs, but and you've probably seen contractors, they're getting scrappy. They're using it for client updates, job walkthroughs, maybe even team trainings. With everything that you have seen, what's kind of the coolest way that you've seen, or the most unique way someone has used this technology?
Oh my goodness, we hear new ways all the time from someone. Like, the other day was like, "Oh yeah, we're using it for recruiting." Like, when I meet people, I'm like, "What?"
Mhm.
Yeah, like, we just make them take a 3-minute video on their time answering 3 questions, and if we look at that video for just a few minutes and they can't answer 3 simple questions, we don't even bother with a further interview. It's kind of one creative. I was like, wow, I've never heard about this for someone using it for recruiting, but I guess you can, right? But obviously the 911 emergency calls are the most unique. But in the home service space, like we've been talking about, it's from QR codes to text connect. And then I've got folks that even have hired people overseas, meaning like they got a virtual assistant in the Philippines or in South Africa, and they're taking some of these calls at times because the labor is hard to find on shore sometimes, and they have found that there's some talent even overseas. So I find that to be pretty unique, having somebody look at a home service job from the Philippines into the States. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, but we're able to do it.
That's for sure. So let me ask. Sometimes you could be dealing though with people who are really not very tech savvy at all. They don't even know how to open up their email. How do you get someone like that to use this technology?
Yeah, well, like I said, if you can tap a text, you're good. That is it. If they can't do that, you know, or they still work on a flip phone, or they still work on a home service phone, you're going to be driving out anyways. That's old school. I guess is what it is. Like you're not going to get 100% of your folks. That's just, and I'm not going to pretend that, but you will be shocked how often our thousands of customers are like, oh, dude, I got a 90-year-old on this the other day, and they had no problem. But you're not going to get them all.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. So with all this said, I mean, one of the things that we often see, at least in the in the kitchen design area, is people who kind of want to show other projects. Is there a way that you can use it to kind of share portfolios and things to that extent, so that someone can really see everything that you've done in the past?
Yep. In that project folder, you can upload photos, videos, documents, anything you want. You just share that project with anybody, whether it's a customer, a project manager, a future prospect. If you have approval from your previous clients to share those videos, you can send it anywhere. You just literally copy and paste a link in an email, or you can text it, or it works on any platform. So very simple to share your projects.
I'm sure that this is a tool that you've had a lot. People have seen as they start to use it that the cost to acquire a client is going to go down a little bit, because simply that it's easier to close. The technology is helping you kind of allow someone to envision. Have there been any studies or anything that demonstrate kind of what the average ROIs or the average kind of cost per acquisition is, or how much it decreases when you start using video versus just picking up the phone, talking to people, and driving out there and wasting all the gas, wasting your time, not being able to go to other appointments, things to that extent?
Yep. So you're layering this through the entire customer experience, from marketing material to first call to on property to after, and to prevent callbacks, right? And that just adds up, compounding. This is not expensive stuff. Like we're talking about something that's $5 a day here. So, right, I fight with your gas tank a little bit, but not really. It comes down to overall customer experience, right? That time you're sitting at the dinner table that you didn't have to drive out for a callback because you were able to just do a quick video session with the person and show them that's not a problem. Here's how you align the cabinet. No big deal, right? That alone pays for the month. We're on like a Netflix like subscription. You just buy for users. But also, in the first week when customers like, I closed my first deal, like, and I didn't even have to drive out. Oh my goodness. Like, I can't believe that happened. That alone helps out. Also, the people you don't drive out to, right? When you do that discovery, you can see their property. You can tell this person is not probably in a position where they're going to be able to do a full kitchen renovation, or maybe it's just a property you wouldn't work on for whatever reason. It's you don't work on certain age, or you don't work on certain types, right? So the prevention of who you go out to as well, because when you see what they see, it just changes everything for you. So the level of return on investment here, it's almost comical. I don't even do it with people.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Another big thing I know with a lot of tools out there, whether it's a CRM tool, whether it's a video tool like this, or whatever it might be, is how easy is it to integrate into your existing tech stack? So let's say someone's using Jobber, or they're using Housecall Pro, or something like that, or even Google Calendar. Does LiveSwitch play nice with these guys? I mean, is there an API that allows it to connect?
Yep. Well, we play nice with everybody. We even have a Zapier integration. Okay. And there's some
Nice.
are fully integrated, like with Jobber, with Service Titan. With others that aren't full integration, we do have an open API. So eventually, if they want to connect, but honestly, what a lot of folks will do is just take the link and paste it in the client file. It's really that simple. And as far as time to value, I've had people review this in the morning, buy this in the afternoon, and use it in the evening on the same day. Like I had a landscaper just the other day, I was like, oh yeah, and I used it the same day. It saved me a $200 trip out. I mean, we get this all the time. This is a 10-minute training. This is not a new CRM. This is not a new marketing platform. It's not a new fill in the blank where sometimes people, oh my goodness, we're changing CRMs and all the eyes roll. Like that is not this. And I'm not trying to be that. Right.
Yep.
I want to be your Nextel walkie-talkie where we're a one button and go. If you can send a text, if your team can send a text, they can use our stuff. That's how fast this is. Because all you have to do is enter a phone number and hit go. That's it.
So that's pretty cool. And you've talked a lot about simplicity today. So I imagine this probably a simple way for someone to try this out on their own too. Am I right?
Absolutely. You just go to liveswitch.com and then click demo. And in fact, ask for James. Like as much as I love my sales team, if anyone's listening to this podcast, you can work with me directly. I love working with home service business owners because I used to be one. And we can talk through this as well. And you can be up and trying this in no time. But I would love to meet you and just come right to liveswitch.com and say hello.
That's great. I think a lot of people kind of appreciate the fact that somebody in leadership is still taking the calls, is still engaging with the customer base. That's pretty cool. And James, now you've dropped some real knowledge bombs on us today. You've kind of really educated, I think, the audience on how you can use this kind of. And I'm still going to call it emerging technology. I know you say video's been around, but not this way. It hasn't been. So if somebody wants to learn more about it, other than just going to LiveSwitch, or they just want to talk to you, they want to find out more. What are the different ways they get a hold of you?
Well, obviously, liveswitch.com, right? Or go to LinkedIn.
Sure.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm so easy to find. Just go to LinkedIn, look up James Hatfield LiveSwitch. You'll find me in a heartbeat. Hit connect, send me a message, and I'll be happy to connect with you. I've connected with tons of people that way who've heard about this. But I do love spending time with business owners. So I don't tuck myself in a closet somewhere and let the sales team and our customer success team do that. I'm back home, basically, right? So in my previous tech, I wasn't always hanging out with home service companies, which, is fine. But this is a full circle moment for me. So I really love talking to, if you're in sales or operations or you're the owner, please reach out.
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, it sounds like, it's a great tool. It sounds like it's a great technology. Hopefully, the listeners here, they check it out. Sounds like it's pretty easy to get into. And I'd love to hear from anybody who actually has tried it. Guys, if you have used it, put a comment down below. Tell us about your experience with this, because this sounds like something that could help a lot of folks out. I work with an awful lot of kitchen remodelers, bath remodelers, designers, and they generate the leads, but then, they are constantly complaining about time wasted, about time spent in the car, about low quality lead that they shouldn't have dealt with. This would have solved a whole lot of problems. So this is this is something that you really should check out. But James, I really do appreciate your time today. I appreciate you coming on the show. This was fantastic.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Thanks for listening, everybody.
My pleasure. So guys, if you have been listening, this has been the Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling podcast. I'm Mike Goldstein. This is James Hatfield. Thanks so much. Tune in next week for another great episode. Talk to you soon.